Hi, Connie. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic, Hayley. How are you?
I'm doing good. So you're pretty new to the program still, but you've already had a lot of success. So I just kind of wanted to ask a couple quick questions about, what's been going on with you so far. So real quick, will you just tell everybody what your experience with losing weight was like before?
Yeah. So I am 50 years old and I have been on some kind of diet most of my life since I was 10. So I've had a lot of experience trying to lose weight and keep it off. So you name it, I think I've tried it. And my experience before was frustrated, defeated, like, why bother? And every single time, what would happen was I could like lose weight, like muscle, like willpower my way through it, a lot of suffering, a lot of, self deprivation, and get like I could lose. And I've lost up to 120 pounds before it. So it's not like I don't know, like knowing. I don't know what to, it's not like I don't know what to do, because what I'll tell you is knowing is never not enough. It's not enough. And willpower is not enough. And um, 2.5 years ago, my only child had a massive heart attack and died, and I was done. I was done with my health. I was done. I was just done. And I really like told myself, even though I was overweight and had health challenges, I'm done. I'm not doing it again. I have enough suffering in my life. Why in the world would I add more suffering to my life? Because that's how it was for me. Like, a diet equaled suffering. And I had no more space for that. And so it wasn't until, as I've been healing the last couple of years, learning more and more about how the brain works and the rewiring of the brain and all of that. And when I saw that you were promoting your program about rewiring your brain to lose 20 pounds in 90 days, I thought, I've learned how to rewire my brain for certain outcomes, and I had not yet done that with my body. And I had all these stories still in my head how it was going to be. And so I went to your Facebook group or a post, and like I went and saw you talk about the program. And then you were gracious enough to spend some time with me, talking with me about like my story, and like if you thought this would work for me. And I have had such positive interactions with you in the past with like the cooking programs and the different things that I had interacted with you for. I had belief in you, and I also had belief, and I knew the brain could be rewired, and even though I hadn't done it with my body yet. And I decided to jump in. And I will say I didn't do it perfectly at the beginning. However, the basic principles that you have taught me, I mean, our first coaching call, so before, I literally had barricaded. So like, you can see like in the background, I have a medical doctor scale in my office, because my parents had 12 weight loss clinics. That's why I started like dieting when I was 10. And I literally have barricades in front of it so I can't reach it. Because I know, like, every time before I would get on the scale, it was nothing but sadness, desperation, frustration. And even when I was losing weight, it was never enough. And then I had another scale that I had, but I hadn't been on it in 5 years. And after our first coaching session, when I got a whole different relationship, and not only different relationship with the scale, a whole new view of what could be possible for my health and maintaining it, which is like has been the problem. Because like I said before, I've lost lots of weight. I've also gained back all of it plus more. So like, who wants to go into anything knowing you're going to be heavier by the time it's all said and done? Like, what's the point if it's just suffering? And so we had our first coaching call. And I remember at one point when you asked me, how my relationship with the scale was before, because I had it, I wasn't going to have to weigh myself. And I don't know why I had it that way. I just had it that way because I had not been weighing myself, and except for at the doctor's office. And I told you what it was like. And then we talked about what I wanted it to be like, thinking it was a pipe dream. Like, that's not even a possibility. and we went through your process. And I literally remember like my jaw dropping open when you were sharing. And it was really like both of us like going back and forth, like you were asking me. It wasn't like you were telling me, it was you were assisting me discovering a whole new world for myself that no other diet that I've been on ever addressed. And I could not wait to get on the scale, which never in my life has that ever been the case. I went to go grab my little scale that I did have access to, and it had been so long the batteries had corroded in the and so I literally had to go buy a new scale, and I could not wait every day until like, when is my scale coming? And I'm thinking, is this really me? Like asking myself like with anticipation, like when is my scale gonna arrive? And now every morning it's the first thing I do. And my relationship with all of it, like there has been no suffering. There has been confidence instead. There has been no deprivation. There has been like pride in myself instead. There has been no frustration. There just has been like, here, just follow the plan. Just follow the plan. It's just the decision. Just make the decision and just do it. And like, take it out of the part of the brain that does not always serve us well, and put it like rewire it so that it's part of the brain that actually can, you know, make a difference for what we want. So I know that's a lot. I know I talk fast. And that's been my experience. It's been flipping amazing. And by the way, like, you know, the scale's moving down, which is great.
Yeah. And it's, would you say it like watching the scale go down, is your experience overall like easier than other diets you've done?
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like it's a diet. Like it's just like,
yeah, because it's not a diet.
Right. Yeah, because I went through Thanksgiving and I went through Christmas, you know, and I wrote down, like, you know, I pre-planned what I was going to eat. And so it wasn't a problem. And like, none of it has been, like I said, none of it has been stressful. It has actually been the opposite. It's actually like fueled me. So instead of being depleting, which in the past, that's how, up until recently, that's how it has been. And now it fuels me. And, you know, you do this, there's part of your program. I don't know how much I could like share the secret sauce or not. So I don't want to we had an episode about the future you. And like so many different parts of your program have made a difference. And that particular piece, I think about almost, I don't even know how many times a day. When I go to make a decision, I ask myself, is this the Connie, you know, my current version of Connie making this decision, or is it the future Connie making the decision? And which life do you want? And not just in my relationship with my body and food and all of that, but in other areas of my life, in my business and in my relationships.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it has been profound. So while I know that the program is designed, you know, rewire your brain to lose 20 pounds in 90 days, that is like just like the icing on top, because it equips you to like really take it on in all the parts of your life.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. And that's one of the things I don't really advertise or talk about, but it really will. All these pieces help you utilize your brain in a way that will really like benefit your entire life. It's not just about the weight loss.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what, after like all your past experience with dieting, what made you decide to sign up for this program?
I knew about the power of the rewiring in the brain. I actually lead a program that does that.
Yeah.
For unconditional happiness. And and so as a grieving parent, I didn't think that was possible ever either. And when I had that breakthrough, I've been studying the brain since I was 20. because I've been fascinated with how, like, all of it, I'm a total nerd. And so I have been using different things with neurology and rewiring and programming and all the stuff, and the unconscious mind. And I'm an NLP. I'm certified as a trainer. I mean, so I've done all the stuff, and I just love how the brain works. And there was still this huge barrier. Like, I would not take on. I had such strong beliefs that dieting was more suffering. And I had so much suffering that I was overcoming with the loss of my son. Like, I felt I had no more bandwidth, no more capacity to take it on. And when you were talking about, and I knew I had this background knowledge of knowing it's a brain pattern and we could change brain patterns. And because I had such respect and admiration for you, and finally, out of this unconditional happiness program that I coach, enough love and respect for myself, I knew I was worth it, and I knew it would work.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it is.
That's fantastic, Connie. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you for, like, believing in yourself and continuing to look for a solution, even though, you tried a lot of things. That's not easy to continue to, like, move down that path and not just completely give up. Yeah.
Well, I'm not hardwired to give up.
Yes. So what would you say to somebody who's considering signing up?
Do it right now. I would say do it right now. Whatever you need to do to make it happen, go make it happen, because you're worth it.
Yeah.
And it's possible. And it's real. Like, it's actually real. I mean, all of these other programs, I mean, I'm telling you, I've tried to starve myself, like, these stupid 500 calorie diets that were out there with all the crazy. I mean, I've done hypnosis, and there is a point, there was called the Way Down Workshop, and you prayed it off. I mean, like, when I tell you, I've done it all. Like, I've tried to manage the food. I've tried to manage, like, all the different parts, and they never addressed what comes before the food. And when you address that, it's like the key that unlocks all of it. And so it's like, it is what works. Like, it actually is real, and people produce results, and there's no suffering, and you can have it all.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
And it's true.
Me too, because I still am committed. Like, no suffering. Like, I've had enough suffering for a lifetime. I'm done. Like, I'm done. I am ready for, and so I would say, anybody who hears this, like, do yourself a favor, give the biggest gift to yourself that you can, love yourself enough to do this for yourself.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Connie, so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
I appreciate it.